Just when you breathe a sigh of relief as a top World Cup downhiller, assuming that, okay, the prodigies are already here, I got a sense of what I have to deal with to try to win one of these, another one reveals himself, and that is none other than Tyler Waite, New Zealand Kiwi downhill sensation, still under the radar. But man, I'm telling you, and I'm not the first to say it, but it is just without question that this young kid, he's under 19 years old. I believe he's either 17 or 18. He has got potentially prodigy level speed. This is the season of the word prodigy. Jackson Goldstone, Asa Vermette, Max Allren, and I believe we might be adding another rider to that list. He is on the Factory Yeti team. He is teammates to Richie Rude, and he did fantastic. The Crankworx Redemption Series in Queenstown. He won the under 19 division and had a time that was unbelievably fast, right there with Lachie Stevens. And what really elevated my excitement already and is sort of starting to get me to plow more and more sort of fuel onto the bandwagon. It was the seeding results for the Crankworx Rotorua downhill that's going to be happening in literally like 2 hours. It is impressive what this kid is doing and just what they're doing in general these days. The learning curve seems to be gone. Yes, experience is valuable, but with the skills that these young riders have, the sort of building blocks that they have access to, things like YouTube and coaching, an understanding of the preparation that's needed, the training, the nutrition, they hit the junior ranks dialed. Lucas Shaw was talking about, 10 years ago, how much less emphasis there was on the junior division, how much less polished they were, and now they're not coming into the elite ranks looking for top 20s. They're looking for podiums and wins. It's a scary time to be a, World Cup downhill racer because it is going to just keep getting more and more competitive. And once again, another name to add to the list. So Tyler Waite had a qualifying time of 2:55, 2 seconds faster than the fastest elite qualifier, Lachie Stevens McNabb. Now, I'm not sure if he had an incident in that run. Conditions might have been a little bit different. It's not necessarily always apples to apples, but he was significantly up on the second place under 19 qualifier of Ollie Clark. The top 5 qualifying results for the Crankworx Rotorua was Lachie, Richie Rude, Tehuto, Enrique Penne, Lori Greenland, and Kai Ahern. And the junior under 19 men was Tyler, Ollie Clark, John T. Williamson, Rory Meek, and Zach Bradley. And again, for me, what really stands out is Lachie Stevens continuing on his form, just looking like this is going to be a big year for him. Last year was kind of his breakout season, announcing to the world his intentions. He's had an off season of prep, and I'm expecting a World Cup win, if not multiple wins this year. So it's going to be exciting. It's definitely kind of his race to lose. Richie Rude, it's so cool to see him racing the full downhill series, but it's looking like, if I had to guess, obviously the seeding results make it pretty obvious, but Lachie Stevens the guy to beat, but Tyler Waite is kind of the sleeper, sort of not pick because they're in different divisions, but this is going to make for a exciting junior battle this year on the World Cups. Tyler Waite was still kind of figuring things out last year, but I believe Asa and Max are going to be seriously having their hands full because he is going to be winning some races. These times that he's thrown down 2 weekends in a row, it means big things in my opinion. So for the elite women's division, we got Jenna Hastings. She also just seems to be figuring it out. Last year, I think the general results came a little bit below expectations. A good offseason of training and prep, getting comfortable on the new pivot bike. She just looks phenomenal. Now, the offseason races, there's always a bit of an asterisk next to it because you don't have the full World Cup field, but she is looking really good. The run at the Queenstown race looked really good, the best that I've seen her riding. So I'm expecting her to have a really good World Cup season. Can she beat Valley Hall? I don't know about that. I'm not sure anybody can beat her when Valley is on form and on point, but a podium I think is very likely. And if Valley makes a mistake, or if Jenna just has one of those incredible runs, it is possible. So the top 5 was Jenna Hastings, Louis Ferguson, she was in second. Camille Belange, Sasha Ernest, the young Trek racer, also from New Zealand, and Lisa Bouladou. So a pretty deep field. Obviously, it's not like a World Cup, but the track is so fast. I mean, man, I watched the GoPro and it was terrifying. The speed, the whole upper section has got that old school kind of Lachie flat grass corners, and then you go into the woods. There is not a lot of corners or chicanes. You are just bombing down. It is scary fast, very high risk. I would not be surprised if some riders are like, boy, I'm maybe going to back it down a tick just so I don't go careening into a tree, because it is so incredibly fast. That bottom section at Rotorua, it's so unique. I don't know any other track that looks like it. It's like a Coliseum style supercross downhill race hybrid. I mean, they must be hitting, I haven't seen the speed trap, but it's got to be 30 plus miles an hour. They look like, when you watch the GoPro or the trackside footage, it is scary how quick they're going into these big kind of grass. They're not even jumps, they're like hills, but they've lips and landings have been made into them. It looks fun and terrifying and really wild to imagine hurling yourself down that run, racing it, because the average speed on a track like that has got to be incredibly high. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like 24, 25 miles an hour. It's wild. And for anybody that's raced downhill or just enduro or just clocked their speed, 25 or even 20 miles an hour on a bike feels like 100 miles an hour in a car. Your sense of speed in a car is totally diminished. When you're on a bike whizzing by trees and you're ping-ponging off rocks, I can promise you the sense of speed is completely different. 30 miles an hour feels like you're going 150 miles an hour in a car. It's just not comparable. So this track's going to be wild. It's going to be exciting. I'm definitely tuning in. You guys got to support downhill. The more views, the better. So let's see if Lachie can do it. Tyler Waite, Jenna Hastings, strong field, really cool, sketchy track. That bottom is going to be wild. Let me know what you think and hope you enjoyed the video.